Well, if you are just joining us, we are currently witnessing a police pursuit of what is believed to be a stolen U-Haul van. We just saw a Tesla moving out the way there. We do not want to get that Tesla scratched, as they cost an absolute arm and a leg to get fixed, as we all know. The U-Haul van is one of those, the ones with the $19.99 stickers labeled all over it. We see those all the time now. And any of you who have rented a U-Haul in the past for whatever reason, whether you were moving a bed or whatever, a bunch of contraband across the city, you will be aware that it's incredibly deceiving. $19.95, forgive me, not 19, as I was 4 cents off. They're quiet, right, Comfort. Sometimes you don't actually know how fast you're going in these, because I got to admit, they are very, very smooth. So we're going to give this guy the benefit of the doubt this time. However, if I were to speculate as to why this individual is so upset, I believe there is a strong possibility that when he went to pay the $19.95 bill for the U-Haul rental, that he, as many of us have experienced, received quite the shock at the additional fees, surcharges, and additional charges for whatever reason. Also, these things do guzzle gas, and you got to bring them back full. You got to bring them back full, ladies and gentlemen. If you are ever tempted to get a U-Haul, making it sharp right there. That's good. Good control. Staying pretty good in the outside lane. Pretty good lane discipline. Straddling the lanes now. You can see another helicopter there, and there are the police. Yes, we are quite shocked at the total bill or invoice that we receive whenever we hire one of these $19.95 per day U-Haul trucks. I have done it myself, and I have to admit, it left a somewhat sour taste in my mouth. I haven't felt the need to steal one out of anger, but depending on the economic situation of this particular driver, it may be that they just had enough and they snapped. We do think that U-Haul should be a bit more transparent up front and put the real price on the side of the truck, perhaps $105, $120, roundabout, whatever it may actually be. So a little bit of sympathy from myself, and I'm sure many others here in the studio, that that could be the reason why this person is acting the way that they are. Now, that doesn't give them the excuse to run red lights. It doesn't give them the excuse to endanger civilians and other drivers. But in this economy, you can surely appreciate that there is definitely some anger, legitimate anger, directed at some of these companies. Now, the gentleman who is driving this truck is certainly looking after it. It's not being bashed into anything so far. It's more than capable of sustaining speeds of 70, 80 mile an hour. So it could be that he is just trying to get his money's worth before returning it back to the U-Haul parking lot. Now, there is another possibility here. He may have actually stolen it. We know the graphic says that it was stolen, but let's be honest, we actually don't have a clue. Oh, he's going straight through the intersection there, running a red light. Okay, came out fine on the other side. We're going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. What do you think, Bob? Would you give 7 and 8? My colleague Bob here in the studio is he's going to bump him up to an 8 out of 10 for that little maneuver. Very, very impressive. It appears that we have some vehicles who are not particularly keen to get out of his way. It looks as though they may even be trying to help the police. Oh, very good brakes on that. Oh, there's that quiet comfort suspension bouncing around. We have to be impressed by that maneuver there. You would think that these police interceptor vehicles would be more than able to catch up with this U-Haul truck. But as you can see, they are struggling a little bit. They are struggling a little bit to get close to him. This could be, again, I'm just speculating here, this could be why U-Haul charges so much for these. Because despite their lack of transparency with their pricing, their vehicles certainly are no slouches, and they do have power. Here we go, blowing through that same intersection again, taking the police on a bit of a wild goose chase. This is excellent training for the police. Excellent training for the police. It's not every day you get to chase a U-Haul around the city, so I'm sure the police officers in that vehicle and the ones behind it will be smiling from ear to ear, knowing that they are getting a very, very good pursuit training lesson. Surprising. Normally it's a Mustang or a Corvette or something, but this U-Haul certainly is giving them a run for their money. Tearing up the inside there on the bike lane. There are no bikes, which there rarely are, so we don't have to worry about that so much. Tearing up the outside, looking like another intersection. Green lights all the way. The God and the universe is certainly smiling on this individual this afternoon. V8 power, it says V8 power. That's probably the reason why this individual took the vehicle. There is a passenger. Looks as though they are having the time of their life. It looks as though they have something up against their face. Perhaps they're crying, hopefully happy, excited tears. Now, as is standard with a lot of these work vehicles, we have a dashboard full of various paraphernalia, takeout containers. You may recall from our last pursuit that the truck involved was incredibly clean, very clean dashboard. And this one is, I have to say, more typical. Purple garbage bins there. That's a very interesting thing. I hadn't seen that before. And now we're tearing up what looks to be a residential street here on Corona Avenue. Very good handling there, very good handling. The suspension and the tires on this vehicle are certainly top notch, A+. No back end swinging out, no understeer, no oversteer, just like thing is cornering like it's on rails. Blowing through a stop sign there, although, let's be honest, not a lot going on. And I think if any of us were to look deep within ourselves, we know that we would not be stopping fully at that stop sign either. So let's not be hypocrites as we watch this pursuit unfold. Again, cornering on rails to the right, past those purple garbage cans. This could be a dead end, folks. Oh, no, it looks as though it may be. And we have somebody getting out. He's looking up at the chopper, looking very innocent, although he's walking a little strange. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we may have gotten this all wrong. This guy looks as though he really needs to go, if you know what I mean. We've all been there. We should all have sympathy when nature calls and when you're desperate. When there's a bush right there, let's see what he does. Now he's decided not quite private enough to do his business, and is hopefully we will find a good Samaritan and let him into their house perhaps, where he can go do his business. Oh, it looks as though he has hit another dead end. Down by the water, the rocks and a fence is stopping him from proceeding. Here come the police. And he's threw his hands up. Just threw his hands up. Okay. I certainly don't envy the police in this situation. It's entirely possible that this man may have, in fact, soiled himself, and as they read him his rights and take him into custody, it could be that there is a significant harmful stench. I've never actually seen or heard of someone like this being charged with biological warfare. However, anything is possible. At this time, anything is possible. If I'm right about the reason he was running and the fact that he really had to go, I would suggest that the white pants are a very, very risky choice. Passenger there looking to see, looking very innocent, nothing to see here. Reaching inside their bag for something, whether or not the police have grounds to arrest them, I suspect not, as they were a passenger, and they're on the phone, possibly calling an Uber or maybe calling UHaul to thank them for the remarkably comfortable ride that this passenger just experienced. Police are now gently coming up behind this individual, possibly about to offer them a ride home, and they're just continuing on. I would not recommend being on the phone when crossing the street like this. I would much rather, we would all support here at the studio, we would much rather that you go home and you write a Google review or a Yelp review from the safety of your home. I would not be calling up UHaul to thank them or to tell them what a remarkable experience you had when you're walking in traffic. Thankfully, these drivers are quite alert and keeping their distance from this individual. It seems the police have actually decided to approach the passenger after all, possibly to get some more details from them regarding what transpired. could be a possibility that UHaul have in fact contracted these police to arrest this individual due to what may have been less than a 5-star review. Possibly it was a 4-star review. As we all know, things move very quickly in society these days. You post the review, you call it in, and they're just leaving the individual's stuff on the sidewalk. That is quite surprising. Thank you for joining us. That was a nice little distraction for the last 16 minutes. I hope you enjoyed.